Okay, we're on the air.
We on?
We are.
We on.
Here, there's both of us. Wow, that's low quality.
Quality.
But it's what it is. So, we're wearing pants today.
Because everyone's probably noticed if they're watching this, we're in the same room today.
Because? Why? Why?
Well, something exciting happened.
Hold it up on your screen.
This movie came out yesterday.
You gotta hold it still for a second. There's some latency here. But yeah, that if you can't read that, it says Tremors 5 Bloodlines, which on my screen is up here, but it's kind of blown out. And this actually doesn't say it. This is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 language options in case you bought this in some country that speaks runes.
Let's quickly just touch on why this is a big deal for us.
Sure. Start with you.
This is probably one of our favorite movies all times altogether. We've watched all 4 movies, all 13 episodes of the unfortunately sadly lived TV series numerous times while we were going to school, haven't we?
Right, we did. One of the things that I remember was my first year of college. You said, "Oh, I don't like horror movies," because I was like, "I love horror stuff. Come on!"
Yeah.
And then I was like, "Do you remember Tremors?" And so I said something along those lines. I was like, "That movie was a horror movie," and you're like, "You mean this?" And you held up the original box.
Yeah, I got the Tremors Attack Pack DVD collection of one of the first 4 movies when my freshman year with my parents.
Right. And so I was like, well, you like horror then to some extent, but I guess it's more like action now.
This definitely is action. Not much of especially in this latest iteration of it. There's more action and boom than horror and fright.
Right.
But it still felt like it was the first movie all over again, kind of.
It did. It was, well, we're not afraid of spoilers. So.
Yes, quick note here. We're going to spoil the shit out of this movie and the other 4 and possibly the TV series. So if you haven't watched these, I feel nothing. So here we go.
All right, so let's say everything takes place in Nevada, typically.
Typically.
This and the second movie do not.
Yeah, the second movie was in Argentina.
Right. However, this movie did a lot of referencing to all the other series.
Not the series as much. They didn't acknowledge it. I think because they're still afraid of Mixmaster, slightly.
Maybe.
But I've grown to accept it because he can't hunt graboids all the time.
Right. Well, the thing at the end...
That was... Yes! Oh.
We'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
But let's walk through the movie as best as we can remember. We just watched it. It literally came out yesterday.
Yep, yesterday.
You picked it up, you opened the plastic tonight.
Right in front of him so I could prove that I did not watch it without him.
Right. So, for a long time there's been rumors that there's going to be a 5th movie.
Well, I don't know how long, but yeah, rumors. It's going to be in Australia.
They wanted to call it Thunder from Down Under.
Yeah, Thunder from Down Under. They were going to get Val and Earl back.
They made it sound like everyone, including people from the TV series.
Yeah, they made it sound heavy, like, oh my god, we're bringing this all back to you.
Like even Christopher Lloyd was going to be in it, supposedly.
Yeah, oh god.
And he was just a brief character in the TV series.
He came in for 2 or 3 episodes in the series.
So there's that. But the movie starts in perfection, but it starts like an advertisement.
Yeah, it starts like not necessarily an infomercial kind of, but more like what's happening is Bert's making a bunch of survival how-to videos for surviving out in the wilderness.
Well, they're not just how-to videos; they're survival videos that also go with a brand.
Yeah.
Just like Burt Gummer brand survival equipment and
Yep.
like food supplies.
Because one of them was Burt Gummer's cactus juice,
Right.
and he pointed it out, said, "Get rid of that. Tastes just like chicken effect
Yeah.
to it." And I saw like they're hyping this up a lot because they had a few others videos posted online. One of them was like a Burt Gummer brand survival pantyhose.
Oh, what do you use those for?
Apparently, you can use them for a lot of things. I mean,
Didn't they use pantyhose in an episode of the series for something?
maybe.
Making the net?
No, that was a regular hemp. They rolled together for it.
Yeah.
But he's talking about using pantyhoses to like tie down your kill because they had a I guess when they were done shooting, they were just having fun doing a bunch of stuff.
That stuff's probably on here.
It probably is. I hope it is. I hope it is. But like tie down your catch or use it as like a dirt protector for your face. But with us in pantyhose, we just use them for a mock kidnapping.
Right. So it starts that way, and Jamie Kennedy is the sidekick in this one.
Yeah, Jamie Kennedy. It took me a while to recognize who he was because they dyed his hair.
Yeah, we get a dark-haired Jamie Kennedy with a goatee, and he hasn't been in media that I find relevant. Oh, I'll switch to your camera. Oh, we're getting some lag. It's pretty serious. You're just a black box. Oh, there we are. There he is. Now, if you see it, he's the one that's not wearing the white Hawks hat. Burt Gummer is a fan of the Atlanta Hawks. You can put it down.
Okay.
But yeah, so it's difficult to tell that it's him, but it's certainly Jamie Kennedy, and he comes in kind of like, what was the guy from the third flick's name?
Grady Hoover.
Grady was the second.
No, Grady was the second. Third flick was Cactus Jack.
Cactus Jack. He feels like a mix between Grady and Cactus Jack.
Yeah, he kind of does a little bit.
So
Grady's in, like well, both Grady and Cactus Jack are kind of like in on the money-ish a little bit.
But Grady's got this like geek out knowledge sort of stuff going on. He's not really a useful human being.
Really naive.
He's just such a fanboy. He knows what's going on. Where Cactus Jack is utilitarian and kind of a con man.
Yeah, you could say con man.
And so you have this mix where Travis, Jamie Kennedy's character,
Yep.
where he isn't necessarily a con man, but he's certainly got some sort of like
They made it sound like he was a videographer in like Desert Storm and stuff.
Right. And which is fine. But I'm trying to say, like, he's got this like suave sort of thing going on, even though we don't see it happen.
Oh, kind of like I'm real smooth with the lady. He pretends to be a player, even though he probably is.
So he's got that aspect of Cactus Jack going on, and then he's got that like, I know everything about you, Burt Gummer.
Yeah.
Grady feel, which maybe that's why they didn't make him redheaded, because Grady a redhead. He had lighter hair, at least.
Grady was a lighter hair color, yeah.
So it would have been interesting to see Grady come back. It would have been interesting to see someone come back. So I'm going to jump on my first gripe.
Okay.
I did like the movie because I have to. Like, part of me says I have to. Like, not in a bad way. But we didn't get to see perfection at all.
Yeah, they had a helicopter ride on first. Dylan was like, "Where's perfection?" But they announced, "Oh, this is in Africa." And he said, "I'm like, oh, that would have been neat to kind of at least get a little flyover of perfection."
I want to see like Chang's Market, and like
Nancy's house.
Yeah,
the remnants of his bunker that he has up on that hill.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, I think he lives like a couple miles out of town.
Yeah,
a little bit, but
yeah.
And let's see, Chang's Market, Nancy's, and like 3 other buildings they have.
Right.
And the water tower.
The tour Quonset thing.
Oh, the tour Quonset, and I think they had 3 what am I thinking? Mini Quonsets.
Yeah, they had a lot of like kind of
10 small
like undescribed buildings.
I think those were probably set up in the series because they slowly became a tourist destination for people.
Right. So I think this is the first movie with no Asian people in it.
Oh god, yeah, it is.
I don't remember if any of the Changs were in the second movie, or if they're just in the third
No,
one.
never mind. The second movie didn't have any Asians either.
No, I guess not. So we've got that. Then second major gripe from the beginning of the movie. What is it?
Oh, Bloodlines?
No El Blanco.
Oh yes!
I was waiting for you to be like, we never saw him.
I was so engrossed with the rest of this movie and like I was enjoying it for what it was. And I completely forgot about El Blanco. Dang, you're right.
In the third movie, for those of you who aren't aware and want the spoiler, El Blanco is or was, we don't know if he's still alive. It's been like 10 years since the TV series. But
we can probably assume he's still alive because they don't necessarily we don't know how long they live.
Right, and even if an albino would have a shortened lifespan, could still be hundreds of years.
Yeah.
So El Blanco is an albino graboid that they know to be sterile, who is attracted to not just sound but ultrasonic sounds, more so than normal sound. So you can sort of make him obedient or train him with the satellite watch that Bert has.
They've done it.
And so he's almost a good guy.
Almost. In the series, they used him several times to help them out with several things.
Right.
Unfortunately, he did not like the taste of Experiment 412, and he spat him out.
Right. And 412, I don't remember how they defeated 412.
They set it on fire.
Oh, well, there we go. 412 was a weird thing.
Yeah.
It was nice to have Christopher Lloyd, but that was a weird
412 was the introduction to Mixmaster.
Yeah, it was.
And Mixmaster is a compound made by the government which genetically combined DNA of several animals.
Right, it was like almost a bacteria that was like, I touched you and I touched you, made a new thing.
Yep, because they made a few things they made was like the 412, which was a razorback boar, secretions of a certain kind of skunk, which is
a rhino.
I thought it was a razorback boar was what it was.
I think it had both.
Yeah, it had a bit of a rhino because it had that horn which gouged out that horse.
That's why its skin was so rough.
Yeah.
Even though it was like the size of a dog. A small dog.
Small dog, and they somehow managed to program surround the belt.
Right, and when we saw it from its vision, it had like a reticle.
Yeah, that was great.
Which was goofy.
Another one,
whatever
monster they had was which actually is kind of an interesting one, was the plant one, which was I can't think of what they all made it with, but it was sensitive to vibrations, and if
those ones that would pop.
Yeah, pop out and spray highly concentrated digestive acid,
like corrosive stuff.
And in the show, it dissolved people straight to the bone.
Right.
And then
almost instantaneously.
Yeah, almost instantaneously. Then there was the moisture out of everything.
Right. And I remember hating that the first time I watched it, but then when we watched it again on the DVD, I was like, I kind of like that one.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
And lastly, Invisibat.
Yeah. Was that the last one?
That was the last one we saw, was Invisibat with what's his name?
Now this is reassuring, however, because Invisibat. That was so ridiculous. Anyway,
it was a hummingbird and a bat with jellyfish membrane.
Right. One of the gripes I have with the series is the last 2 or 3 episodes don't have Bert Gummer.
Oh God, we were so terrified. When
he's just not in them.
We were like, he doesn't want to be in it anymore. He's gone. But we saw a commentary somewhere where he actually was he wanted to keep going. He talked about playing Bert Gummer
forever.
Forever, yeah.
So this is reassuring because he's back.
He's back.
In the saddle.
Michael
and
Gross,
he's bald.
He's bald, yeah. Which might be why Travis asked, "What's with your dome, Pops?"
Right.
Ooh.
Pops. Count that.
Count that. Yeah.
Tally that.
He calls Bert Pops several times throughout this movie. Should we tell them?
Just hold on. They know already.
They probably
because of the way you're acting.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I gave it away already.
Right. So we get to this guy. I don't remember his name. The guy from South Africa. Shows up.
Oh yeah. We don't. No, I can't remember it either.
This guy with the National Wildlife Organization's like, yo.
It wasn't that one. It was
It was like
name.
South Africa's version of that.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, dudes, we need you to come blow up some worms, and then
It started out pretty much just like the second one.
right, it was like you gotta come take care of this problem, and Burt Gummer's like, you got it, but then Trevor's like, hold on, man, we'll get some money, and like he plays pretty boy, and they get money or the offer of money. They're gonna fund Burt Gummer's like product line, movie line
For 3 years.
So they jump on board.
And at first, Bert didn't want this guy to come along until he walks over to his motorcycle and pulls out. I can't remember the gun, but I think it's the one he's holding in the picture there.
It is.
It's the one he's holding on the cover.
Right.
It basically, if you want to be Bert's friend, give him a gun, a really nice gun, or a big one.
So Trevor wins him over there
straight away
because he can ride a motorcycle. He's kind of Grady-esque on the knowledge, which means he should be able to handle himself. And then he's liking the weapons, so he seems useful.
Ish.
Right. So they fly up to South Africa. We see some clearly like stock footage of animals fighting.
And a lion taking down a wildebeest.
Right. Right. And you even said it. You're like, that's from Discovery Channel.
I said, no, I was like, well, that's from Animal Planet. No, they actually filmed that.
Right. Right. So there's some low quality feel to this movie.
But actually kind of made me like it a little bit, putting that low quality
It felt low quality more at the beginning.
Yeah.
I think as the cutting and the pacing got better, and some of the music choices in the beginning were a little weird.
I think that was all intentional to kind of like go, whoa, what's going on here a little bit, because this isn't like how the movie we were expecting to feel, but then suddenly, oh, wait, all right, we're good.
You got to remember that they haven't made them. Did the fourth one come out in 2002? Something like that? It's been a long time.
Yeah, I remember watching it with my grandparents when the fourth one was released on Sci-Fi.
Were you still in high school?
Yeah, we were still in high school.
Well, if you were still in high school, then it couldn't be any later than 2005.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, 2002 could be.
I want to say that was when it was.
Could have been, yeah. I feel like it was.
So, it's been a long time.
Long time since we got anything Tremors.
Right. And
this was worth it.
I'm glad you feel that way. So we get to South Africa, and immediately they're like, we have ass blaster activity.
So that's
immediately what they say.
And he's looking at this going. The attack happened on this guy's little handy cam he had. He's looking at it going, that don't look like no ass blaster I've seen.
Right.
But what happens right after they land? One of Bert's favorite peeves.
Yeah. All the guns are not available.
Yep. What do you mean my guns aren't available? Oh, we have a 3-day.
Yeah. So let's just spoil it more. He's lost trust because even though in the second movie Argentina, the Argentinian government's like, here's a fucking truck that you can have full of stuff. Bert's like, I'm gonna send my own stuff with. And our guy from the wildlife organization or whatever is like, oh, customs held them up. It'll be 3 days before you can have them.
Yeah.
So he gives them this. It looks like a pretty nice ammo box. Like you're gonna have 2 machine guns in there. He opens it up and it's just like 2 shitty rifles and a pistol.
Yeah, pretty much.
A revolver, nonetheless.
Yeah, and the other guy who was there at the beginning of the first attack was going, these will drop anything out here. And Bert's and we're like, nope, not what you're hunting.
No, you need things that blow up.
You need things that go boom.
Right. So we get that experience, and you start to think we meet the first 2 victims. Well, we've already seen one victim in the cold open.
Second and third.
Right. But we see the second and third victim who slightly mirror the doctor and his wife from the first movie.
Oh, yeah, they do, don't they?
They're at a very rugged area. It's a campsite for them. The doctor and his wife are building a house. They have music playing. Yep. The only thing lacking was a car, except they were naked and taking a shower together.
Yeah, and they weren't necessarily building a house. They were excavating
a giant graboid skeleton.
Ancient giant graboid skeleton.
Mm-hmm.
And as it pans out, they're talking. This didn't necessarily look any different compared, bigger.
No.
It looked a little. It didn't look any longer necessarily.
I'm gonna list another gripe. Because I'm going to like the movie, I'm going to be hard on it. That graboid, if I recall correctly, and I should have taken notes, the skeletal one, they took a little bit of the dust or dirt and they mixed it with water, revitalized it, and it like burnt through the vial.
Yeah, I didn't understand what the hell was going
I
on.
think what the guy said was this thing was like puking on rocks to dig through them, which I was like, that motherfucker can go through rock.
Oh.
But we didn't get that graboid.
Yeah, we didn't get. Yeah, that was,
Which is fine.
which is probably for the best because I mean that rock has. They have to have some sort of a safe zone.
Right. Right. But we do remove the rocky safe zone with two elements, one being ass blasters,
Yep.
another one being, do you want to say right now?
There were no shriekers.
No. Well, there were no shriekers.
Oh yeah. Their tongues
Are now detached.
cannot detach from the host body.
And they go like rogue, and they seem to have a mind of their own.
Yeah, they do.
So
A little disappointed that there was no like tearaway or like part where that reconnects to inside, or
I don't want them to reconnect at
maybe
all.
actually they don't period at all. They just kind of like have a symbiotic relationship. They go out, bring food, bring back into the host, and they get to live inside. Kind of.
Maybe.
That's the only way I can really see how that works.
I
don't
think
see them,
it's
like, ripping them off.
I think it's like not that they rip off, but there's something that keeps growing, and so it's like our hair follicles fall out. We have and they take off like they kind of look like boa constrictors, or not boa constrictors, cobras.
Oh,
Like
those
the
move.
sand.
These ones can move. Like
Right, right. But like their maneuvers and their like heads and stuff look a lot like cobras to me.
yeah, they had that wide comb, not comb. Is that what it is?
The fan?
The hood?
Yeah, the hood.
The hood. Hood.
Well, let's just jump ahead. We could go like scene by scene and hash this down, which I think you would love.
We could, I would, but we are on a time restraint.
Right, we need to hit some of the key things.
Because we'll probably come
First
back
thing
to this.
first, we get through our first day, and Bert right away is like, dudes, we gotta just hit the trail and blow the shit out of this ass blaster and that graboid that I know you have, and we'll take care of it and then get home.
Yeah.
But Travis is like, ooh, I like this African lady. So she was someone working on the nature reserve.
She was the one who owned it.
Oh, yeah, she owned it. That's correct. Was that girl her daughter?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I
They
think
didn't say that enough
No,
for it to be clear.
no.
But, so there's a little girl and another
She's
guy.
African Mindy.
Yeah, basically. Almost to a T.
Yep.
Like without a pogo stick.
Yeah.
She just has a basket.
Yeah.
And she also gives us the example of how we're going to kill the final worm
Yep.
in the first few minutes of the movie, which is great. But anyway, Ass Blaster attacks, and the first thing you notice is that that's not what an Ass Blaster looks like.
Yeah, it was just.
So get into that.
What they did is, like, if anyone knows what the original Ass Blasters looked like, they kind of took it, reversed it, put its head where its ass is, and on the ass end, the ass end on the head. The wings are now more full, and it doesn't have that fin down the back.
Right. It's got like, so an Ass Blaster is like a big barrel with a trunk with a long snout on the end.
And that opens into, like, three
Yeah,
mandible type.
right, like a big top mandible and then two under ones.
Yeah,
And then it's got little fins on its head to detect heat.
for heat sensors.
We know they
organs.
detected heat, but we never saw the like opening and stuff.
I think
and
these
then-
ones probably didn't have it.
Right, or theirs were just open all the time and
Yeah.
we just couldn't tell or something. So they flip it around, and so in the back of the barrel now we have this big like sphincter, like Fluke Man from the X-Files type mouth thing going on. It's very, I'm just going to jump out there and say it kind of looks like a vagina. There's a circle, and then this vaginal shape.
It's got like the outside mandibles, which counted I think about like 6 or 9-ish, somewhere
Right.
in there. A row of teeth inside, and then the row of teeth, and then the vagina mouth.
Right. So it was very clearly there. the vagina thing. And then we flip that around, and on the long trunk, instead of having the head with the mandibles, we have this like pod that it shoots its flaming fart out of, and its wings are now bat-like because it used to be literally a glider wing.
Yeah,
that just stuck out.
They were just kind of there, and there was like a web membrane between some spines and connected with webbing.
Right, they weren't very mobile.
No,
but these wings like folded and like rested on the back, and it looked like they could flap them.
Yeah, it looked like they could literally like flap for better control and
right.
fly once they launched themselves up in the air.
Right. So we were dealing with a whole new ass blaster.
Whole new one.
But another gripe. I love it. I love it. Don't get me wrong. I love the new ass blaster, but Bert never said like, "That's fucking different."
Oh, yeah, he did. He didn't, did he?
No, and that bothered me a little bit. I wanted him to be like, "That's not my ass blaster."
Yeah.
Because, and when the movie started, I was like, "Oh, I know what's so exciting about Africa, Brett." I was like, when you're on different continents, like literally, like North and South America is not that different. You can cross pretty easily. But when you're on dramatically different continents, that causes greater odds of speciation, which means over the hundreds of thousands, if not millions, which they've claimed these are Precambrian life forms, which is oodles of millions of years old, then these things could have speciated into like totally different branches of basically not in the same species.
Yeah.
Like an American graboid might not be able to breed. Like they don't breed. They're asexual, but they wouldn't be compatible. They might even fight for all we know.
Yeah. They probably would go after each other just by the sounds they make alone.
Right. So I just wanted someone to be like, "That's not my ass blaster."
Yeah.
Like.
But I think he did point out like some differences, but he didn't point out like that's not mine.
Mm-hmm.
Because they pointed out like the African ones had the ass blasters had a different hunting pattern. They hunted at night, so they could see heat sources better rather than the day where everything's going to be hot, radiating.
Right, that was a good touch because they never really touched on that in the third flick. Because if I recall correctly, in the third movie, it kind of made the desert look cold when we saw it from the ass blaster's perspective, which was a little incorrect. Okay, a lot incorrect. And so it was nice to have that touch where they're like, "Ooh, these ass blasters hunt at night."
Yep.
That was, to me, a really good touch. And what's her name? The woman who owned the refuge was like, they didn't say a lot of the characters' names very often.
No, they didn't say them very often. It was kind of like introduced, this is so-and-so, and then kind of when you're talking in a room with people you know, you don't address them by name.
Right.
You just kind of go, "Hey, would you get this, grab this," and we're like, we just know, "Oh, I'm by this," and you mean.
Right. Right. So she even calls them vampires, which was kind of cool.
Yeah, that was kind of neat.
So they got to get a little more intimate with you to kill you, but they were very vicious.
I also did like the touch when they were running around in the caves, like all the old cave paintings we saw.
Right, where it's like, ooh, people have really dealt with these. And then it was cool. We get to go ahead.
Because we got a little more story on these, because apparently the ass blasters have always been in Africa.
Right.
Because they did this dance, and like said, they themselves, their ancestors hunted these monsters.
Right. And they never showed a shrieker whatsoever. But what I was gonna say is they did this tribal dance, and there's one guy who's dressed up as an ass blaster, and then there's like a Japanese dragon thing with a graboid head on it.
Yeah.
So like they're acknowledging both. Yeah. But they're not acknowledging the shrieker. Is this ass blaster like the bridge? Did this species of graboid, if you will,
jump shrieker,
and make this new ass blaster to bridge that gap?
Could be, very well could be.
Because I'm not convinced our graboid can detach its tongues.
Yeah, those are pretty much definitely in. Its tongues are not self-aware.
No, not at all. However, I mean, I think we've had moments where they like stabbed a tongue and it squealed.
Yeah.
But they definitely, we know when they come off, it hurt the graboid.
And then the tongue.
The tongue is useless.
We've seen them rip them out.
Right.
And then the tongue is just there.
Yeah.
Because Walter Chang started charging people $15 to take a picture with it after they knocked it off Alanol's truck.
That stinky snake.
That sticky snake. Yeah.
So,
Oh, it smells like a bad night of beans.
right. Not once did they mention how stinky these things were in this movie.
Yeah. Yeah. And what were they doing right at the end of
They ate it at the end of the movie.
They cooked the last one they killed up and were grilling it and cooking like. Apparently these ones, especially since they were like bones, apparently these ones aren't all
like gooey
on the inside then.
Right. They were still like Chef Boyardee orange on the inside.
Yeah.
Which was nice.
they left that in. Yeah.
But so let's keep talking about the evolved creature. I do really dig the graboid evolution. I'm kind of missing the big like skull piece.
The big massive beak and the three mandibles.
Right, those always made me feel like that was for pulverizing the earth and the rest of the body followed. Yep. But what did this one do that was so different?
This one twisted. He drilled through the earth.
Right.
And his beak mandible setup was different. I'm pretty sure he had like
it was a 5-piece.
It was a 5-piece, one top one, and then there were like 4, 2 on each side.
Right.
And they were positioned so that it could drill, because several times as it did like the whale maneuver type thing.
It was always it would free willied a lot.
It free willied quite a bit.
It seemed to favor catching prey by coming up like, what would you say, like 20 yards behind somebody, maybe further.
I'd say 20 or a little around 20.
And then it would twist and then come down over the prey.
Yeah.
But they seem to favor humans.
They do, because there was a scene where they're running through a bunch of cattle to get to some weapons, and it was completely ignoring the cows.
Right. In the past, it would have just been like, we're probably fine because it'll eat the cow.
It'll go for the cows
and not
first.
Me.
And then you're going to have the one person go, that's horrible. It's like, well, do you want to take the risk and just say, I'll take one for the team? No? Okay.
Better the cow than me.
Yeah, better the cow than me.
So, yeah, that was interesting. But these ones also displayed something we haven't experienced. So we can't say ours don't do it.
Yeah. But
in the 4th movie, we did see graboid eggs. They're kind of the size of like a dinosaur egg. They have this weird like ribbing around them.
Yeah, weird ribbing that kind of... Oh, how do we... It actually kind of looked like it was a seam.
Right, like almost for a breaking line for the baby graboid to like get out more easily when it was time. And then we didn't see any baby graboids.
No.
We saw them in the 4th movie.
You know, when you think about it, it was probably for the best because those ones could fly around crazy fast.
Right, and with this new like twisting body
and evolution,
the babies would probably be really vicious.
Vicious, and instead of like just like taking you, like knocking you over and taking you out, you'd probably have like a hole in your chest.
Right.
There'd probably be like chunks missing literally out of you, or your head would be gone. Just and
right.
There's something. Your head is gone. What happened? As your head's already flying through the air, being with a baby graboid twisting. Ah!
Because your head is still screaming. So
your head lives a few minutes after being decapitated.
I don't know if you have the muscles left to scream.
Okay, so it's more like oh.
But anyhow, we see that they're very protective of their eggs.
Yeah, that was an interesting plot they made. They actually had beforehand it was basically more of a consciousness of kill and eat.
Right.
And then get smarter. As all these guys are trying to kill me, I'm going to get smarter to protect myself and kill them.
And they always made it seem like the eggs, and they didn't say they weren't in this movie, but they always made it seem like the eggs are very, very like climate sensitive. They need everything to be perfect. And one of the things that makes the graboid the perfect creature is that the eggs, after being fertile, which they don't need another mate to fertilize, they just are. Yep. After the eggs are ready, they can go dormant for fucking forever.
Yeah.
So
they predated the one. It's like predates carbon dating or what?
Right. That's when they say it's Precambrian, which would be earlier than known life.
Mm-hmm.
So that's intense.
Yeah.
So things are going really well in this cave in Africa if you're a graboid.
Oh yeah.
Like it seems like everything's just right for eggs to hatch.
Like apparently since they've never had these issues before, and suddenly just the right temperature, a couple eggs hatched,
Right.
and then shit starts going down.
Right, and they were laying eggs like nobody's business. Do you think this has to do with the fact there's no shrieker? Like, it doesn't take as long to get to egg ready?
Could be. They probably could jump that, because I think we had a total of 3 ass blasters.
I think we had
We blew up 1.
2 ass blasters and 3 worms.
Did we have 3 worms?
Or was it 2 ass blasters and 2 worms?
We had 2 worms. 1 worm got blown up in the truck, and the other one got struck by lightning.
Okay. Yeah. How about that kill? Whoa.
Oh, shoot! We should have saved that.
Yeah.
Whoops, my bad.
Move on.
Well, I do briefly want to touch before we go too further into anything else is how much I enjoyed the opening cinematic.
Yes. Yeah, you can go back to that, because that was amazing.
Yeah, it opens with Bert doing his little intro for his survival video, and all the while we're seeing some really lovely animations and artist pictures of like graboids and graboids attack, like 3D models of them actually going about and doing stuff. He's given his spiel saying, if you're new to the graboid incursion, let me bring you up to speed. And it just goes in with all these...
Now, notice something. They had 3D renderings, because this was literally like an infographic, which there was an infographic made by just somebody a few years back. Remember seeing that?
Oh yes!
I feel like this was inspired by that.
That infographic thing we're talking about going...
Right.
I love that video. That is just so awesome. It actually looks like it's something you'd find on like an animal discovery where they're talking about this thing being real, because the guy's been announcing it too.
Yeah, absolutely, and this felt like a more intense version of that, but with the 3D renderings, they used the new worm model.
Yeah, they did.
They showed some old stuff, and then we saw the new worm a couple times, and they didn't say anything about it.
Yeah, they did. I think it was kind of like, either like, oh, we don't have to go through and remake these new renderings, and some guy goes, well, we could just use the renderings we have now.
I think it was partly to get you ready to see a new worm.
It could, because like, with how, unless you're gonna pause the movie, you're not gonna see the worms all that well unless you're really looking hard, like we were.
Right.
Because they pop up or something.
That's different.
That's different. What is this?
That's not my worm.
That's not it. Wait, 1, 2, 3. It's got 5 mandibles. What the hell? It's got a octagon, squarish body, and it's twisting as it goes through.
It was interesting.
Can you tell we really like this movie series?
So we get through all this stuff. Turns out our buddy from the National Wildlife Organization thing is not our buddy. He's a poacher.
He's a dirty, dirty poacher.
He wants an egg to sell for
poach.
Whatever reason. Yes, he's going to poach and eat it. I bet they're awful.
They probably are.
So he gets eaten by a big worm.
By the whaling maneuver of 20 yards back, and
the first time we see that, actually.
The first time we see that.
And
another quick thing. Apparently, a freshly laid egg looks a lot different.
Yeah, they're really gooey.
It looks kind of like a
film on them.
Film and a little spine, and they're more rounded too.
Right, and yeah, the film is like it's like the shit inside a pumpkin, and it's got this sort of like hairy, spiny quality to it.
Yeah,
which is different. It's cool to see, but in the midst of everything, this dude traps Burt Gummer in a cage.
Yeah, he locks in the
Talk about this a bit.
He's holds the gun, says, "Give me the egg," and Burt says, "You can shoot me, you can kill me. You will not cage me." Next scene, he's in a cage. This isn't over until it's over. And I really want to know how long he was actually in that cage, because he started losing it pretty fast.
He was in his underpants right quick, and
drinking his own urine.
Which was getting a little intense to watch.
He did this. It's an acquired taste. Throws the cup.
Yeah. Where did he get a cup? Well, he must have had it on.
Well, it was one of those collapsible ones. Right. It's Burt Gummer.
Right, so he had it on.
Even his trusty little pocket knife could not saw through the bars on the cage.
Right.
Useless!
And then a lion comes up and pees on him.
he's actually goading the lion. He's lost to the point where he's tough talking this lion in the cage. Says, "Bring it on!" The lion just kind of paws up. He's like, "Ah, shit, at last." And then the lion pees on it.
Right, and he spits out a bunch of lion pee, and I'm just like, what? Why are we
Yeah,
being
that was
subject
like,
to this?
oh,
That was weird.
that was weird, but it fit. I don't know why.
It was the comic relief for this movie. The first movie didn't have a whole lot.
No, there wasn't that. It was just a couple one-liners, I think.
Right, I think it was a lot of the charm of Bacon, Kevin Bacon.
Kevin Bacon, yeah.
And the second movie was like, we're gonna have this whole montage of just blowing worms up, because why the fuck not?
Yeah.
Time, because they had umbrellas and they're being silly, and
don't forget to clean the antenna. And there's a huge piece hanging off it.
Right, in the third movie, I would say Captain Jack, is that his name?
Captain Jack.
He was just kind of goofy the whole time.
Yeah, he was. I almost wonder if it wasn't the one where Bert comes out of the ground after being swallowed.
Right, yeah, that's pretty funny.
That was funny because he just stands up and Mindy's, or not Mindy, but Chang's niece.
Yeah.
Can't remember her name, but she just kind of looks at him and goes, "That's it. You guys need supervision."
Yeah.
And joins them.
So yeah, that's different. I have to wonder if most of the town was dismantled, the set town. And that's why we didn't see it.
It could have been.
I was just like, fuck, why didn't we see it?
We so wanted to see it because in one of my 3D classes back in school, I made
like a model.
Attempted to make a model. Unfortunately, I couldn't get an accurate building count of what they had and everything because there's never been a decent shot of the entire town.
Right. You get like shots of one or two buildings at a time, but not the whole thing. And there's no like aerial map available.
Yeah, there's no aerial map, and then I kind of wanted to go updates. So I was trying to go for like in the series format of it.
Right.
So it got even really hard
Right.
because like all the other things I might have added. So.
And things kind of like shifted around a little bit for the series, which is fine.
Yeah.
But
James Market and Nancy's house pretty much stayed where they were.
Right.
Still don't know where the hell that damn junkyard is.
No, I think it wanders.
It's a wandering junkyard.
But I forgot about that. So we get through all that. We blow up some worms. We go into this den, and we see eggs.
Eggs galore. And a couple of juicy dead bodies.
Right. Fresh dead bodies. Like, they were not just eating them right away, because usually they're just like, boom, you're dead, you're eaten.
Swallowed whole. There was like
these were like being enjoyed.
Yeah, there was like one body was there that he was fresh. There was another body there that was basically just kind of juicy bones.
Right. So these ass blasters were kind of taking their time.
They were taking their time.
Maybe that has to do with how many eggs they're producing.
It could be.
Maybe if they eat too fast, like.
Well, I always thought it was just like they only could do one. Ass blasters could only do like one at a time. Maybe one or two-ish, and then that was all they had.
Right.
Because that's what it seriously made it sound like, because Graboid, Shrieker eats more, make more Shrieker come ass blaster fly away, lay egg.
Yeah, Shriekers shed their skin, become an ass blaster.
Yeah, they shed their skin and become an ass blaster.
Right. So, yeah, the Shrieker would have to look way different if there was one in this bloodline.
Oh, God, man. I would so love to have seen one.
It would probably just be the vagina face, and then like a tail, like a stumpy tail, like a tadpole tail.
I think the vagina face would actually have more sharper appendages on it.
Yeah, maybe.
Because they literally kind of had those shaped like a can opener.
Yeah.
Because it went to town on trucks when it got there.
It did. They were wicked cool.
They were wicked. Even the puppet ones in the third movie when they pushed forward. Oh, you can see
that was the second movie.
That was the second movie.
Yeah. And and they were hell bent on catching this Shrieker. They never did. The poachers were.
The poachers were, but Bert knows better. He's like, yeah, no.
He didn't confess that they've caught one before.
Yeah, he didn't say that.
Because you can get them into a food coma.
You can get them a food coma.
Oh, maybe that's why these ones were savoring it and not fucking chowing down.
Oh. Yeah, could be.
They knew better than to just eat and eat and eat until they get into their food coma.
Yeah.
Didn't think about that.
Yeah, very true.
because Chang's niece. Oh, what the fuck is her
No,
name?
it wasn't her. It was Nancy and Mindy.
Oh, it was Nancy and Mindy.
They threw a ham in the microwave, threw it at it, and hid in the freezer, and it just ate everything else in the store.
Right, and then it like passed out, and they trapped it.
With duct tape.
Right.
And they said, no, Bert, give them all your MREs. They'll go into a food coma. And that's when, like, Bert just kind of glances over his shoulder going, I just blew up my home.
Right. Well, because they were running off of Shrieker logic, which
Yeah,
is
they're
like
running off
eat a
Shrieker
lot,
logic.
multiply.
Yeah, they eat. The more food they eat, the more they make of themselves. And he has MREs in his room because he said, like, there were 3 people. Between the 3 of them, they could last.
Oh, man, I'm developing fan theories out the wazoo right now.
Oh, yeah?
So, let's say, based on your hypothesis that the North American ass blaster lays 1 egg, maybe 2, which is probably just an anomaly. So we got the 1 egg. Shriekers multiply themselves, meaning if a worm gives 3 to 5 shriekers, which is the standard,
I think they kind of put it down to 3.
almost just 3.
Almost just 3.
So let's just run off of 3. Runs 3. Those 3 turn into 9. We have 9 ass blasters lay 9 eggs. Well, now we skip the shrieker evolution. Now we can make eggs. We can keep making eggs as an ass blaster. Meaning maybe they can only have 1 in their butt at all times.
Yeah.
But they're not eating to make more shriekers, so they're eating to make more eggs.
That could be it.
Which is weird.
It is.
Which would mean we've never seen an ass blaster, a North American ass blaster, lay an egg.
No.
Because you could postulate that when that ass blaster lays that egg, that ass blaster dies.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure that's not the case with these South African ones.
We saw them as they came up to the one. They was basically literally just finished dropping its egg.
Right.
Because Bert's like, what? It came straight at us. It ignored the bait. What the hell? And then he looked. It was protecting the nest.
Right.
And we come in on the steam pile of slime.
So maybe these ass blasters know they don't want to overeat or they'll go into the food coma and become vulnerable. They can lay eggs every day maybe until maybe they have a given lifespan of like a month.
And these are clearly a lot smarter because remember, like, as this movie starts going in and we're starting to see people, I'm just automatically going, dead, you get a 50-50 chance.
Right.
And the one guy, I'm like, oh, God, it's the lovable black guy.
Yeah, he was a nice guy. And he was giving good advice. I was like, please don't die, let the other guy die.
Yeah. But we see these two, like, fixing an engine, and the engines are cold. Dead cold. Nothing's wrong. And all of a sudden, we hear rattling. They look around, and he picks up a machete. And I'm thinking, oh, he's gone right here. Boom! He's still alive! He got a chunk out of it. Later, nope, never mind. There he goes.
It took him.
It took him and carried him away. But here's the thing. It dropped him on a bridge and waited for them.
It baited the guys.
It baited Bert and the other guy.
Right.
I just saw them. They're getting smarter!
So I'm going to hit a few hot notes, then we're going to talk about how we killed last ass blaster, then we're going to talk about something that doesn't exist. And then we're out of time.
Okay.
So, big hot note. Tremendous Jurassic Park reference.
Oh.
We get the reflections on some cutlery. It's like the velociraptors in the kitchen chasing the kids.
And their ass blasters' legs look remarkably
these ass
similar.
blasters' legs are like extra claws velociraptors. And we get the like just the feet walking thing. It's exactly from Jurassic Park.
Yeah. They might have been like, you know what? Jurassic Park came out. I'm like, oh yeah, I love that one scene when they're in the kitchen.
Well, Jurassic World just came out. People are already nostalgic for that.
They might Though actually, since Jurassic World came out this year, they've been working on this movie for a little bit longer than that.
Well, they knew Jurassic World was coming out. How do you not know?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
If only they could have gotten Chris Pratt to be in it.
Oh my God.
Next hot button. It turns out, at like the 3/4 moment, when Trevor says "pops" a third time.
Yeah.
What happens?
Bert suddenly goes around. No, he kind of like leading in. I knew you were in Florida.
Right, because
What is Florida to you? Flower child? He's like, yeah, I ain't no flower child. And he starts talking more and more, and then Bert's like, and he's like, you were there selling your dad's guns. She was there in the parking lot. Bert's like, burning her bra. It was left meets right, and Bert's more connecting the dots more and more, and looks at him.
What is she to you?
Well, I call her mom most of the time, and Bert's just the look on his face is like the color.
Dun dun dun.
The color drained for a little bit.
Dun dun dun.
It's like, no, we're getting out of here. Puts that truck in drive.
And this was either before Heather, or he cheated on Heather.
I think this might have been before Heather.
Yeah, they make it seem like he was rather young. So you're not Reba McEntire's son, which is why you don't have red hair, Jamie Kennedy. And if you were, you'd be like 30 to 32 years old, and they peg you at about 40.
Yeah, they're saying 40.
So they don't yell at me. Indiana Jones did a little bit, where they're like, Jamie Kennedy, you might be the new Burt Gummer.
Oh yeah, they kind of did. There was a line like, "You're too old for this shit." I'm like, you take that back.
You did say that.
Yeah, because Bert's like, they're about the cave, and Bert's like, I'm gonna go in there, and he's like, no. You're suffering from heat exhaustion. You're half crazy and everything. But 2 other reasons, and you're getting too old for this crap. You take that back.
You son of a bitch.
You son of a bitch!
Why did I pay for this movie? Rah!
No, I didn't go that far.
Oh, no.
I was just, you take that back.
You're mad at Jamie Kennedy.
I'm mad at Jamie Kennedy. Like, you take that back. Bert is not too old for this shit.
Next hotkey. So, beginning of the movie, we see the little girl, can't remember her name, grunting for worms. Some people grunt for worms by like using this stick thing that makes a vibration that pulls the worms up off the ground, which is great, but there's a quicker way where you put nodes in the ground, you do a little electrical current, and the worms are like, I don't know why, but I need to come to the ground, or the top of the ground, and then you can harvest them all.
Yep.
And so at the end of the movie, they're like, how do we kill the last graboid? Well, one, we have to flash back to Jamie Kennedy's amazing skills on a dirt bike, even though it's a stuntman, and then we're going to set up a massive grunting system.
Which, because in Africa, at 1,500 hours, you get these, what were they called?
Sunstorms?
Sunstorms.
They called them a monkey wedding.
Something like that, yeah.
But, yeah.
It happens the same time every day during the season.
It's like a dry heat storm where even though the clouds aren't very big and not very rain-producing, they're going to produce some lightning and some thunder for a little while.
My only little gripe there was no way that rod they made was tall enough to actually track the lightning.
Right. Well, and then I'm like, oh, they put the graboid egg up on this like altar, because hold on, the only reason the girl and the woman who owns the reserve and the other black dude are getting chased is because they have an egg, and they didn't realize it, but the little girl found an egg.
Yeah, she says, they says, what's in there? Where'd you get this? I found it, and as well as the graboids are now extremely not territorial but paternal.
Yeah,
they're highly paternal because these are our eggs, these are our offspring.
I would say maternal, actually. They're their own moms.
Oh yeah, paternal. They're highly paternal.
Right.
We'll go with that.
So they built this goofy rig. They put the egg up on an altar, and lightning hits the rod. The graboid comes out of the ground. Everyone's kind of like unloading on it
with pop guns.
Yes, and then lightning strikes the egg, and I'm right after I say like lightning is going to strike the egg.
Yep.
And then
another lightning bolt hits the graboid, causing it to explode. Oh, we didn't touch on one other thing. There's now been 2 men to survive.
Oh yeah, get into that.
The helicopter pilot, who I said I give him a 50-50, and I just liked him because he had that I've seen some shit.
Yeah.
To him.
Yeah.
He comes in to help them out with the cave, and he's standing there like he opens both doors to the helicopter after his one guy gets taken. I'm like, don't open the doors! Don't open the doors!
And he's holding a little grenade gun, a little grenade launcher.
Was it a grenade gun? I thought it was a shotgun.
I think that's a grenade launcher.
I can't let it be a grenade
Pretty
launcher.
sure.
Yeah, but he's holding.
Even though I wouldn't want to use it in the capacity he did for what he's about to do.
Yeah, he's holding it, and as it's coming up, he's firing rounds off, and it pulls him out of the helicopter and goes down. And I was kind of like, damn, I gave him a 50-50, and I liked him.
Right.
So later they make their way
Bert
to
and Trevor are on the helicopter.
Bert and Trevor on the helicopter. They just blew up the nest, and suddenly there's a rapping on the window, and I'm like, that's a bloody stump. What the hell? And the guy opens and says, I'm back. I'm like, what the? He's alive!
Right.
And they're just kind of sitting there like, well, what happened? I couldn't necessarily understand his, not his accent, but the speech very well. But he said some along the lines of, it spit him. Three graboids, 3 ass blasters.
Right.
Because there's no way it just spit.
I suppose I could consider that another gripe. They didn't come right out and give us a number. Usually in the movies they're like, there are 4, there are 3.
We have a definitive count because
so we can sit and be like, all right, there's this many left.
Click, 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 click. All right, I got 10. How many you got? 12. All right, we got 4 more.
Right. So that was missing. But when they called the helicopter pilot, we see him with like an old warhead.
Oh yes.
I do love that he came in with a helicopter mounted with side-mounted rockets, and they just sent off a bunch of those rockets to blow up the nest, which was beautiful. But it would have been awesome if he brought the warhead and just been like,
oh, yeah. I think that one was like a.
Were they trying to make it an atom bomb?
I think so.
I mean, it was quite small for an atom bomb.
Or like a bunker buster type thing, but I think
it was a bunker buster of some kind.
What it was one clearly,
right?
Because he's leaning on it,
right? It would have just been so cool if it was like,
yeah, because he's walking out saying, "Oh, what you need? I can get out there. I got plenty of weapons. What do you want?" And he puts his hand up on it. I'm like, and you're like,
yeah, I kept pointing at it.
You kept pointing at it. And he also gives another thing, which is they're pretty lucky that lightning struck. Because while everyone else is using pop guns, he did give Bert another really nice gun, so Bert made a new friend.
Right.
I should probably feel like I need to learn these.
It was a belt-fed rifle of some kind.
Belt-fed massive rifle.
I want to say it was like the 50 cal that he had in the second movie. Not the same, but like.
Yeah, kind of.
So if someone watches this and you can correct us, let us know what kind of gun.
Feel free to correct us if you're a gun enthusiast.
But so let's jump to the end. Everybody's eating the graboid. Jamie Kennedy, Trevor.
I can't eat what I just killed. I don't care if I am.
That's exactly what he says. And then we get this sort of like, are you going to accept me as your son moment? Where Bert basically lets him walk away from it.
Yeah, Bert says like he's loading ammo into the revolver because this is Bert. He's not going to go unarmed or without a loaded gun at all.
Mm-hmm.
And he sits down and says, "So what are you going to do? Go back to?" I can't remember what he called the desert, but Bert says, "Home." You? Yeah, back to Florida.
Mm-hmm.
He says, "Take care." Gets up, walks up. Wait a minute.
You said you were going to fix my film thing.
Hey, you said you were going to fix me. Blah, 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 and all this. And then there was that touching moment where he walks up, pats him on the shoulder and says, "You don't need fixing."
Yeah, oh, Dad.
Pops.
Daddy.
Pop. And then he walks away and he's like, Pops. Bert does not like being called Dad.
Credits roll. Now, this is where I wanted to talk for 10 minutes, because we're going to go 10 over.
Yeah.
Credits roll. I get up, and I'm, like, beginning to set stuff up for the podcast, and then it jumps to this thing.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
It jumps to this thing that we could spend a whole podcast talking about.
We totally could. We totally could.
Explain this thing.
It pops out like, this isn't, what pops up is not a survival video, but an ad for, you need help with shit, we'll come kill it.
It is, the best way for me to explain it is like Dog the Bounty Hunter meets like Ghost Adventures, or like the Bigfoot Hunters, except all the monsters are fucking real. They're fucking there, and we're gonna blow them up.
Yep, and they're
It's gonna be a series.
They're running through backyards, houses, deserts, everything. Talk about Bert's being all gung ho serious. There's like, meet the father, and I've been called this. I am a survivalist, and then he comes up with his. I've been accused of.
They call him the son.
Meet the son. Yeah, they basically come out and say it.
Right.
There was a line earlier where Bert says, "I want a paternity test."
Maybe they got one.
Probably. I think Bert just accepted. He's not going to go for it. He's like, "Yeah, you're my son." Because there's that moment after it blew up. He looked over and they're looking at each other. Bert's like, you're my son.
Right.
You got what it takes to be a gunner.
Right.
Yeah, but like the whole thing's like we're sitting there going, TV series.
So I ask you, you were like, maybe we can't go back to perfection because that whole Mixmaster bullshit. But what if, and this is all fan theory, don't get your hopes up, but what if, like, Mixmaster got out of perfection, just like they never wanted, and now they're traveling the U.S. or something, and Trevor's running the camera and running a gun, while Bert's blowing the shit out of all these new Mixmaster monsters.
I would love that. I would love that so much. Because, like I said, after a while, I mean, I'm fine with Mixmaster because Bert can't just kill Graboids all the time. Because he literally, Graboids are in this area. They're all gone now.
Right, it's not a problem anymore.
Yeah, it's like he will kill things. The only thing that's frightening with Mixmaster is all the creatures that do exist. They have to contain every bit of the DNA from this creature. Because if a lone cat comes across and just kind of licks up this pool of blood. Oh, fuck. Now this cat's going to mutate to some horde monster species. Because it takes in everything except human DNA.
Right. I'm glad they drew that line.
Yeah, if they did that, suddenly you're like, fuck, Bert Gummer's now going to become a 20-foot graboid.
Yeah.
I also think it cannot work on pre-Cambrian life because...
Yeah, we never saw a mix with a graboid.
Yeah, and how fucked would we be?
Yeah, it would just be a mess.
Imagine a flying graboid.
Maybe not Precambrian, silicon-based.
Oh, that's it.
They are Precambrian.
They're a silicone-based life form. That's what I'm trying to think.
The age of the life form doesn't matter with Mixmaster. It's what it's based on. So it
yeah.
can't be human. It can't be carbon-based.
Yeah.
Or it has to be carbon-based.
Yeah, it has to be carbon-based, which graboids are silicone.
Right. So it wouldn't recognize them, which is fair.
Which is totally fair, and thank God, because holy shit, if we had like a eagle and a graboid, we already have gas blasters that are bad enough, but if you had like something worse.
Remember some of that art they had on Sci-Fi's website, where it's like, look, we got this octopus in a tree.
Oh God,
and all that stuff. Like,
yes,
it would be fun to see.
Oh,
I don't know if I'd want it on Sci-Fi because it might just die after one season.
Oh yeah, because I don't think it was on Sci-Fi when it aired. I can't remember.
It was.
It was?
Yeah, it came out at the same time as that Scare Tactics.
Unfortunately for what happened with Tremors the series, it was trying to replace Firefly and another Joss Whedon show, and it wasn't getting the rating, so they dropped it.
They should put it on, like, TNT or something.
Yeah, I think it would thrive there.
And I think I'd be okay with Jamie Kennedy. He was all right.
Yeah, he was all. At first, I'm kind of like, he's not really fitting the. Okay, now he is.
Okay, I like him.
He works now.
Right. Better than Grady?
I like him a lot better than Grady. Grady was more like
Is Grady still the lowest sidekick for you?
Grady's still the lowest sidekick because he's like high-strung, hyperactive, and funny.
If we ever get a series, though, I want to reference some of the other characters a little more. We don't have to see what happened to them. I realize we can't get Fred Ward and all them back.
Yeah.
But, like, just reference it a little bit more. Like, I want to see Grady's theme park.
Earl and Grady's theme park. Earl's part of that because Grady talked him into it.
I think Earl's mostly like an investor.
He probably is.
I don't think he is at the park.
He probably doesn't want anything to do with the park. Like, Grady, I'm investing money here. Make sure I get it back.
Right.
And Valentine, well, he's already set for Logan because he married the girl who
made the discovery.
Made the primary discovery.
Even though it should be Chang, but Chang got eaten.
Chang got eaten. Yep. Oh, hey, what's the rule?
You name them, you eat them.
You name them, they eat you.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's how that happened. But would you accept a TV show?
I would accept a TV show.
Are you gonna like hit the pavement on the internet and be like, when are we getting the new TV series?
Yes.
Okay.
Tomorrow, I'm gonna start bookmark or looking at all the Tremors fan sites and especially on Facebook, going, "We need the series. I saw the end credits."
We could without pants all the Tremors movies and all the Tremors series.
Oh God, I don't think people would want to hear us talk about those for that long.
I don't know. There's a podcast just about Frasier, and Frasier's been off the air for forever.
True. But I'm saying I think people would rather us be without pants, talk about other things every now and then.
That's probably true. But we'll sneak them in there eventually.
Well, of course we're going to sneak them in.
So
we're gonna sneak in like all our classic favorites.
So, how do you feel about this movie overall?
I wish it had been in theaters.
Even at the like slightly low quality that it was at?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm completely fine with the quality of that this movie gave. Nowadays, I don't think it's necessarily about the quality anymore, because that's what everyone's shooting at. We want to be sharp. We want to be bright. We want to just like show you all the pores on everyone's face.
I'm going to argue against that. This film might be better off on DVD, not based on quality, but based on box office. If they didn't have the budget to fucking advertise the crap out of that, they wouldn't have been able to get butts in seats. And everyone panics when box office returns are bad.
Okay.
So there are a lot of things. Mockbusters, in particular, which there's a shitload on Netflix, make a lot of money just going straight to DVD. They make a lot of money.
Yeah, that's true.
And the nice thing about going straight to DVD and Netflix and things is you can go into, like this, 10 language markets on launch day.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So you don't have to wait 6 months. There's no, like, slow turnaround.
Do you think Bert had to learn 10 different languages to redub
I'm sure that it's other people doing it. They didn't film each scene 10 times.
No, they didn't film each scene. Michael Gross is just sitting in a sound studio.
Konnichiwa!
Konnichiwa! Oh, shoot, I just went from Spanish to Chinese to Spanish. How the hell did I do that?
Konnichiwa is Japanese. But, so, I would say that their gross off of this film is better the way it is, which will be more promising for future Tremors stuff.
Well, when you put it like that, I agree, and hope this parlays some future Tremors.
So you do it. You gotta get online, you gotta be like, bitches, where's the TV series?
Bitches, where be my worms?
You're the guy who's like, hey, I posted on this thing about DBZ and got 80 likes. So, like, come on.
No, I'm like, no. You misquoted me. Like, I posted a comment on this here and I got likes on it. What the fuck?
So, go get likes on, like, where's the series? Where's the series? Where's the series?
Where's our series? Where's our 6th movie?
Do we need a 6th movie?
Do we not need a 6th movie?
If there's a 6th movie, I want it to be Back in Perfection.
It would have to be.
I miss that.
With Mixmaster.
And El Blanco?
And El Blanco. Ooh, one other quick thing. We were freaking out when that Hummer pulled up.
Mm-hmm.
It pulls up and we're like, oh God. Oh God.
Yeah, we thought, what did we think it was going to be?
We thought Melvin Plug was going to come walking out of that, man.
That would have been awesome.
That would have been awesome. Like, oh my God, he's back. That little money-grubbing turd is back.
I kind of liked his return. It was one of those things that made the universe feel, like, complete.
Yeah.
So, I'm okay with that.
I would have been okay as long as Melvin would have got eaten.
I like that he didn't. I like that his ending was a turd ending.
Yeah, he just got stuck up on a rock.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
for who knows how long.
For who knows how long, because we eventually know he wound up, got out and started screwing over Perfection Valley.
Mm-hmm.
Perfection Valley ranchettes are trying to get in there. No, Perfection won't let me in. The Graboid won't let me move in there because it's a preserve. Well, I'm going to go in there and steal all this water with this chemical in it that I don't know about and make a giant and release a giant genetic mutated shrimp.
Yeah, that was a weird monster.
It wasn't. I think it was also prehistoric or something too.
Yeah, it had some like prehistoric shellfish stuff going. Yeah, a lot of weird stuff going on.
They had to shoot further bullets so they wouldn't bleed into the water supply.
Yeah. It was weird.
That was.
So let's wrap this up. I'll let you do the sign off here. That's it for me. And
that's it for me, Brett Scott, and Dylan Jacobson. This has been another episode of Without Pants, where we talked about Tremors 5 Bloodlines. So until next time, where I think we're going to do with I Know That Voice.
We are.
We're going to do Without That Voice. I Know That Voice. Without a voice. we're gonna. That has been another episode of Without Pants. So until next time, drop trout and enjoy yourself.
See ya.